What's up, everybody? We're back with another live edition of the Ad Podcast, filming from the Possible Show in Miami. And we have Micheal Nyman, the chairman of the Acceleration Community of Companies, the famed name partner from Bragman Nyman Caffarelli, and historic leader of the IPG PR groups inside of the IPG holding company. Micheal, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it.
So, Micheal, tell us a little bit about what you're doing at Possible this year. What's going on with you?
Yes, like everyone, I'm trying to find the impossible impossible. You know, it's my first year, and everyone was talking about it last year. Usually, I like to be early to something. If
Yeah,
I can be,
sure.
Want to be prompt, but I definitely don't want to be late.
Yeah, right.
And I heard a lot of good energy and ideas, and interesting people coming back and saying, "You got to check it out." You don't have to go all the way up to France.
Right, I know.
To see people. So.
Yeah, that was kind of when I first started seeing the advertising for it a couple of years ago, I thought it was like a TEDx or something like that, like kind of like a thought leadership conference. I was like, that seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then this year it feels like the North American Cannes. It's like you said, it's like, hey, if you can't go to Cannes, this is a good stop.
Yeah, I'd still like to go to Cannes.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely
nice.
not
It's a really, good size number.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have it, somewhat decent scale, because you want to have a lot of things going on. I just want to have good attendance all the way around. But everyone seems to be showing. It's good brands out here, good thinkers, a lot of thought leaders, people breaking into side conversations and meetings, and just I like to explore. I'm really curious. I want to see and hear what people are talking about, and make sure whatever I may be hypothesizing, am I on? Am I thinking?
Test your ideas.
Am I thinking about the right way I should be?
I love it. So we talked a little bit off camera about what you're doing now at Acceleration Community Companies. You positioned it as a doing company, not a holding company.
Yes.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you mean by that. How do you want to do things differently? Having been part of a huge holdco for so long, what are you doing now?
Well, change is a constant. And I thought about leaving my firm, which is a hard thing to do, to leave my own.
Yeah, you were there for a long time. Yeah.
But I felt the need to, for another chapter for me, and I'm really obsessed about the notion of change and the idea of business models. And when you think about doing business or creating something, a lot of times you're burdened by the past. You have legacy issues.
Yeah.
So the idea came to me, what if, the idea of a holding company is not inherently a bad idea, but it needs to be modernized with the times. So I thought, okay, well, if I were going to do that, would it be beneficial for a group of agencies? I thought, there's virtues in that. And the idea in this particular instance would be that from a corporate group, behaviorally, we would want to be leaning in. We want to be active. So I thought, we would be a doing company, not a holding company.
Nice.
We wouldn't be passive.
Yep.
We want to engage and want to help the agencies that we bought and built inside our community. And so we looked at, and I studied sort of organizational design, which is a thing for me. I look at the way you're organized, how you're set up, how you want people to interact. People today want to be more community-minded, they're more purpose-driven. Language is important.
Sure.
How you say what you say and do you mean what you say. And
culture.
So I'm trying to be purposeful. It's why we use words like community and why we say doing instead of holding, and why we are circular in nature, because we see our businesses as a continuum and our relationships with our clients being a continuum. There's no one agency on the top or bottom. And I like to connote speed, because clients are obsessed with speed of market and reacting quickly to change. And so all of our agencies, and we try to make it be, I think, a good habit, act with urgency, be responsive to clients, be as nimble as you can be, demonstrate value, purpose. And in this day and age where you can live and die by creative or feeling really good about your own work, but relationships are important, more than ever. So there's an art to how you're, what kind of relationship you've crafted and maintained with the client. So I felt that there was something in this idea of urgency.
I love that. With your roots from BNC, are you guys starting with PR, or are you thinking about all types of agencies?
So we actually got a PR firm now with a family after
Nice.
a few years.
Let's
DKC.
go. Oh yeah, I remember
Great
DKC.
Great group, really talented,
Mm-hmm.
and across a lot of subject matter expertise, tech, media, sports.
Yeah, I worked with them on Disney once. On a.
They're really thoughtful, really smart, very focused, large enough to live with anyone, but yet again, very much user friendly in its size. So we've got 8 branded units now.
Wow.
And I purposely waited a long time to get into PR because I didn't want people to think, oh, we left PMP, BNC, the same thing. So I wanted to establish the doing company first, and how we organized and worked with clients and prospects and sat down with them. And so we set up an advisory consultancy which focused on marketing first, giving clients a safe place to have a conversation without saying, oh, you should be with this agency or that agency. Developing relationships in an organic way, and then eventually moving them into working with either individual agencies or perhaps an integrated effort, which are probably doing a lot of integrated marketing work.
Nice.
And it's either fully integrated or maybe it's doing three or four marketing specializations all in a seamless and synced up and for a certain campaign or whatever the remit might be.
Nice. Are any of your clients here with you this week?
So, clients here with me. No, I left a few clients at Stagecoach. But we've got clients as far as ACC clients that are here.
Nice.
Proud we've got a lot of wonderful brand partners. So we're here. We've got a handful of the agency leaders, and we're getting around, and we're seeing our clients. We're touching base with our clients, and it's just trying to explore new relationships, get some new ideas, or road test what we're thinking about doing. And like everyone else, we're obsessed with the AI.
Yep. Wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't talk about AI, right?
That is the single greatest obsession right now. But we'll see. There's always the warning out in front, and we're seeing things happen very, very fast. But there's a lot that's happening. We know that it's not going anywhere. We know it's going to continue to be a part of our lives, not just in marketing, but in everything. And the question is, with change, how do we respond? What do we need to do to make sure that we can leverage it, but do it in a way that's going to be good for our business and good for our clients, and not get overwhelmed by it or overtaken it?
Yeah, I love that. I also think that you're in a unique position to ask a question that I've been thinking about for a while. What is your take on how PR professionals need to interface with this rise of the independent journalist? I think, regardless of what your politics were, podcasts really led the way in this last election cycle, and I think showed the strength of independent journalism and podcasts as a super valuable format. I think the other component is that, like you mentioned with AI, now for the first time you're seeing search volume decrease because people are defaulting to ChatGPT instead of Google, and PR press releases or even traditional journalism that's written isn't popping up in results as much anymore. How do you think about the PR industry evolving as the rise of the citizen journalist becomes more important to not just the political landscape, but all industries and facets of how people are working now?
Well, citizen journalism for sure. Like right now, anyone with a phone could be
like we're proving right here, right?
Well, no, I mean it much more.
Right.
Moment,
in the news cycle.
Cat caught up in
right.
And fire department going to rescue the cat. A child could be there with their phone. They can capture a really tender moment, and then they can push it out across their social, and it could be a thing on TikTok in 2 hours.
Right.
So that's very cool. Yes, it may not take a lot of skill. It could just be capturing, the magic of a moment. But I do think that the good thing now is if you are a good journalist and you've got a good angle or a good perspective on something, or you're really good at reporting and understanding a story, you're not limited by a third-party media platform, right? If you've got
Substack,
Yeah, there's
LinkedIn.
so many.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not different from the entertainment business.
Yeah.
The idea of creating something, being able to distribute it out and find an audience is incredible.
Yeah.
More
So like the
so than
rise of
ever.
YouTubers kind of taking the position of
Even
traditional
though we're
celebrities.
seeing, you could argue there's a diminished number of media, authorized media outlets, or, traditional journalism outlets out there. It's never been easier to report on something, get it distributed, and find and connect with an audience.
Yep.
And same thing happens in the entertainment business. Right? The commitments for production or content are shorter. The economics might not be as lucrative, but it's never been a better time to get your content out there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing it's out. I think from a public relations point of view, earned media is still earned media. The idea or the art of understanding narrative, to understand the strategy around crafting of messages and positioning whatever you need to position. It's very important, and I would argue it's probably more valuable today because you've got so much coming at you. Of course, the average company has so many different constituencies they need to manage, and they cannot do it in a deliberate, slow way and being able to control. Often they have to react. When you have to react, you need resources.
Yeah.
So I think the business of communications is a good one. Super necessary. And I don't see it being cut into like I maybe see, production or some content creation.
Yeah.
Or creative. But AI will impact every aspect of marketing services. The world of public relations, it's certainly a great place to start if you want to do some analytics or pull some data, just like you do searching. But it's a good place to start, to ask questions, to get information back to you and start to sort through it. I do know that it's still early days, so there's a lot of bad information that comes to you, even though it might seem like it's written really well. It's just flat out wrong.
A lot of hallucinations still.
Yeah, a lot of hallucinations. I like how we call it hallucinations. It's bad.
Wrong. Yeah, that's a funny branding for it, right?
It's
a
funny.
hallucinated
Yes.
because a machine came
As
up
if
with
it's
it.
okay, right?
Yeah.
If your child came home in front of you stumbling and they were hallucinating, you'd be really worried. So in the case of AI, whatever you want to call it, it's just wrong.
Yep. Bad
And so
information,
it's the
bad
responsibility
inputs.
of the marketing organization, whoever is doing the work, to make sure that they're getting it right.
Yeah.
So again, it's a tool, and you need to know how to use it, in what manner, and responsibly.
Yeah. Let's do a quick touch base on your investment thesis. So if there are agency founders out there, folks who are interested in what you're doing, what types of shops are you looking for? What kind of EBITDA? What's exciting you right now, and what are you trying to add to the family?
Yeah, well, we're not, we've got 500 people across 8 different brands, and it's mostly US right now, and we're trying to stay focused instead of dabbling and trying to get an office everywhere. So we've got a certain cadence, way in which we're doing this. So we're buying and building, and we're looking for specialization in areas, all different areas. And some areas that we're exploring more now are creative, and certainly more in the area of content creation, and then sub-specialization. We are doing entertainment work, and we do have some sports work, but I think there's still more we could do in marketing, consultancy, and those subject matters. Look, I think size and scope, we're looking for companies of a certain age and stage where they are proof of concept. They've been in business, maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's up to 15. But we're looking for a group that's mature, like proof of concept mature, but they've got legs.
They've got room to go.
There's life ahead. We're looking to be in business with the group that's leading the way. We're not interested in buying a group and getting rid of people and trying to merge them.
You're not looking for turnarounds.
Observe what makes these companies special and unique. Celebrate them. Make sure that their values and culture align with our ACC values, what we're doing in our community. And usually they're great people. They're really great at their craft. They've got great clients. If you look at our roster of clients, our clients are incredible. So if you're doing great work and you've got great clients, then you're probably, that's the greatest indicator that your business is probably a healthy business. And then what we're looking to do is to help these companies, these entrepreneurs, founders, owners, to scale beyond what they're doing. And it could be in pricing, it could be in product, it could be in the bundling or the collaborating with other agencies so they can get a bigger bang
scale.
They can start to scale with their clients. Our message is being well received. I will say that. There's no one that says I don't get it. And I say, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And because I was usually, like that founder back when, there is a connection. So hopefully they get us, we get them, and like we're doing companies, so we want to help build business.
I love it.
My group in the C-suite, they're all people that have run companies, they've run divisions, they've won business, they know what it is to pitch in a room, they know what it is to manage a client, and those are all good experiences and wisdom that we want to bring to all these groups and help them propel.
I love it. And on that note, if people want to learn more, where can they learn more about what you're doing or connect with you personally?
You could just go to theacceleration.com or accelerationcc.com. You can find us. Acceleration Community Company. Check us out.
All right. Micheal Nyman, everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.